Good morning, class. Sit down. Okay. Whatever homeworks are given, you have completed it? Yes. So today, we will start which topic of light? We will go with reflection of light. Okay, we will go with reflection of light. Earlier, we already have studied that what light is and what are luminous and non-luminous objects. Okay, first we will do a little revision and then after we will move on to what? Our topic is reflection of light. Reflection of light. Who can tell me the difference between luminous and non-luminous object? First we will do the revision part.
Luminous objects are those objects which emit their own light, and non-luminous objects are those lights which do not emit their own light, but sometimes it observes light from other luminous objects and it is there.
Give me one example of non-luminous object.
Non-luminous object,
Moon. And one of luminous object?
sun.
Still we are able to see the moon shining during night time. Why? Sit down. Shraddha.
Because the light from the sunlight, it reflects onto the moon, and the light that hits the moon, it again reflects to our eyes.
Okay. That's why we are able to see a shining moon during evening sky. Sit down. Okay, reflection of light. What is the meaning of reflection? You already have studied about it in your standard 7. Anyone of you have any idea about what is reflection? The term reflection defines it's a phenomenon. Okay, that says that when any beam of light strikes on any object. Let us take example of any object that is transparent. Okay, even if we are able to see the things present over here, that is because of reflection only. Okay, because of sun's light, the light beam is been shining or what? Falling over the things present over here, even on my face also. Okay, then after it's being reflected back into your eyes, you are able to see the things around yourself. Got this point? Okay, now we will learn it with some help of ray diagram. Okay, suppose we have a plane mirror here. It's a plane mirror. Okay. Now, if a beam of light, okay, this is a beam of light, is striking over a plane mirror, then it will get reflected back into our eyes. Got it? Okay. Now, this light that has been falling over this plane mirror, we will call it as incident ray. Okay. Now, the ray that gets reflected back, we will call it as reflected ray. Okay. Now, there is present an imaginary line in between the incident ray and reflected ray, which is parallel or which is perpendicular to the plane mirror. And as this line is perpendicular over the plane mirror, then it will make an angle of 90 degree. It will make an angle of 90 degree. And this imaginary line we call it as normal. We call it as normal. Sure?
Yes.
Okay. We call it as normal line. Okay. This is the basic thing that we need to know about reflection of light. What is reflection of light? Anything that we are able to see, that light has been reflected into our eyes. That's why we are able to visualize it. Okay. Now, it is consist of what? We have two rays here. Yes or no? These rays are incident ray and the other one is reflected ray. We have a line in between them. That is our normal line. Okay. Now, this incident ray falling over the plane mirror, and if the normal line is passing through it, then it is making an angle or not?
Yes.
It is making an angle. We will call this angle as angle of incidence. We will call this angle as angle of incidence. And this lower part, the reflected ray, we will call this angle as angle of reflection. Okay, this is our angle R and this is our angle I. Okay, from from this ray diagram only we can make two laws which are very common for reflection of light. What are those two laws? Raise your hand if you know the answer. Okay, Ayush, stand up.
Then definitely normal and incidentally all lie on the same plane. And the second law is that the angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection.
Okay. Can you come over the board and write all you have said just? Laws of reflection. Okay. Come here. Mention first law. Till then, everyone look at your books, whether you are keeping this law or not. Okay, just stay there. Get back to us. The first law states that the incident ray, where is the incident ray? This one is the incident ray. Okay. The incident ray, the reflected ray and the normal line all lies in the same plane. Now what is the meaning of same plane? As whenever you see your face, okay, in a mirror, you see someone being standing what? Into that mirror, you see someone being inside that mirror, okay. You standing in front of that mirror is the plane 1 where you are standing, and the other side that you are able to see your mirror at, that is your plane 2. Okay, got it. As the first law states that the incident ray, reflected ray and normal line all falls on the same plane. That means we are talking about this plane where everything lies. Okay, at the other side you will be able to see the image which we will study later. Got it? Okay, this is what our first law is. Okay, everyone understood this point or is there any doubt? Okay. Second law of reflection states that, get back to this. Second law of reflection states that our angle I is equals to angle R. Okay, angle I is equals to angle R. Angle I is angle of incidence and angle R is angle of reflection. That means the angles for both angle I and angle R will be same. Okay, that's what been described in our second law. Suppose we are saying that the incident ray falling over the plane mirror makes an angle of 40 degree. Okay, then here angle of reflection will also be 40 degree. Okay, this way we can easily find out that what is the angle of reflection if the angle of incidence has been given, and what is the angle of incidence if only reflection angle is given. Got it? Okay, now we will do a numerical over it. This is, in total, are the laws of reflection. There are mainly 2 laws. Okay, and we already have discussed about it. Now we will move on to a sample problem. There is a sample problem on page number 297. Sample problem 2. Sample problem 2. Now, then the question says, a ray of light AB is incident on the mirror PQ. Okay, a ray of light AB is incident on the mirror PQ. This is our mirror PQ. Okay, the incident ray is, name of incident ray is AB. Okay, now at an angle of, that means angle of incidence is, angle of incidence is 30 degree. Now draw the path of the reflected ray from the second mirror QR and find the angle of reflection for the mirror QR. Okay, you have to find out the angle of reflection for the second mirror. Okay, we know that this angle, this incident ray is making an angle that is 30 degree. Then obviously the angle of reflection will also be 30 degree. Okay, now this reflected ray will fall on another mirror, and for this mirror it will be the incident ray. It will be the incident ray. If we are calling AB as incident ray 1, then this will be our incident ray 2, what will be first reflected ray. Got the point? Okay. Okay. If this angle is 30 degree, then alternative opposite angle will also be 30 degree. Okay. Now we know that normal line makes an angle of 90 degree. If out of this 90 degree we already know that this angle is making 30 degree, then 90 minus 30 will be equal to 60 degree. That means the angle for our second incident ray will be 60 degree. And if this one is 60 degree, then obviously for the second reflective angle it will also be 60 degree. So our final answer is 60 degree. Okay, clear with it? Clear with it? Now we will move on to our next question. Okay, write down the question then. Write down the question. The angle between an incident ray, the angle between an incident ray and the plane mirror is between an incident ray and the plane mirror is 30 degree. Then the total angle between the incident ray and reflected ray will be here. Carefully read the question first. Yes, you have to make the diagram also. You have to show the angles and the measurements also. Read the question very carefully. Start with the diagram first. The answer is 120 degree. We can solve this problem over the board. Vishal, take the rest of it. Yes, this one. Okay, in the question, it's been given that the angle between the incident ray and the plane mirror. Okay, they are not saying that the angle of incidence is 30 degree. They are saying the angle being formed in between the mirror and the incident ray is 30 degree. Okay. So obviously, if the angle formed in between the plane mirror and the incident ray is 30 degree, then if we will deduct it from 90 degree, that means the normal line being perpendicular on the plane mirror, we will get 60 degree, we will get the measurement of 60 degree. And if the angle of incidence is 60 degree, then the angle of reflection will also be 60 degree. And they have asked us to calculate the total angle in between the incident ray and the reflected ray. So 60 plus 60 will be 120. Okay. You can give names to the angles and the normal line and the plane mirror. Okay, this will make your answer to be formed very easy. And we are solving this question on the basis of which law of reflection? Second law of reflection. Mention the angles here, B and C. Okay, correct. Go. The question is clear to all of us? Yes or no? Those who haven't completed it, write down from the board. Okay, done then? Let's move on to our next topic, that is regular reflection and diffuse reflection. Okay, regular reflection and diffuse reflection. This topic is very easy. Regular reflection and diffused reflection. Okay. Now, we all know about reflection. Okay, how does it vary in two different ways? If this surface at which the light is falling or the incident ray is falling, if the surface is smooth and plain, then it will form a regular reflection. But if the surface is irregular itself, then it will form a Diffused reflection. Diffused means what? Not clear. Or this reflection will not follow the second law of reflection. That is, angle I is always equals to angle R. Okay, now see. If we make sure that a ray of light falls over the plane mirror which has a regular surface, okay, then it will reflect back at the same angle, yes or no? If here the angle is angle of I, that means incident ray, is 45 degree, then here also the angle R will also be 45 degree. Okay, but here if we make sure that a beam of light falls over a irregular surface, then definitely we are not sure here that what reflection or at what angle the reflection will get formed. Okay, if it falls over here, then the angle of reflection could be this, or if any of the light falls over here, then the angle of reflection could be this. Okay, here the second law of reflection, that is angle I is equals to angle R, is not been satisfied. Got the point? Okay, this is our regular reflection and this one is our diffused reflection. Now we will write some differencing points in between regular reflection and diffused reflection. Okay, you people will only tell me what is the difference between regular reflection and diffused reflection. Regular reflection, then diffused reflection. First we will talk about the plane mirror over which the angle of incidence is striking. Okay. So for the regular reflection, the plane mirror is smooth. That means it has a smooth and regular surface. Having smooth and regular surface. Okay. Then we come write down the opposite point for diffuse reflection. For diffuse reflection, the surface will be rough or irregular. Okay. What could be the second point? Incident ray. Stand up and say. Incident ray is reflected in a parallel line. And for the diffuse reflection, incident ray is reflected in a zigzag manner. Okay, very good. Now, the last but the most important point, that is here for the regular reflection, angle I will be equals to angle R. But here angle I will not be equals to angle R. Okay. This is all about regular reflection and diffuse reflection. You have to write down the difference differencing points in between regular reflection and diffuse reflection along with this ray diagram. Okay, draw it. After that, we will move on to image being formed on a plane. Moving on to our next topic, that is formation of image in a plane mirror. First we need to know that what a plane mirror is. Okay, first we need to know that what a plane mirror is. The mirror that we uses to see ourselves or see our face every morning, that mirror is a plane mirror. Yes or no? We do see our face every morning, yes or no? While getting ready for the classes. So, the mirror that we uses mostly is the plane mirror. Okay. Plane mirror is a piece of glass that has what? A polished surface. Polished or painted surface. Its back must get painted and the surface must be polished so that the reflection that is formed or the image that is formed is regular. Got it? Okay. Now, this plane mirror forms a certain type of image which is only particular to it. Okay, we will study about different features or the characteristics of that image that a plane mirror forms. One by one you will read out the points and then we will describe it. Okay, so the first point for the image formed on a plane mirror is, you can read out the first point. This is a plane mirror. Stand up.
The image formed by plane mirror is virtual or unreal.
The image formed by a plane mirror is virtual or unreal. What is the meaning of unreal? That means the image cannot be formed on a screen. Okay, and virtual means? Same thing. Okay, and real and virtual both are the same thing. Okay, the image that can be formed over a screen we call it as real image, and the image that cannot be formed over a screen we call it as virtual image. Okay, whatever we are seeing or we are able to visualize here, that has been formed in a retina. Okay, here in our eyes there is present a retina which acts like a screen. Okay, then the image that is formed is real, but then as it moves to our brain it converts into virtual. Okay, so any image that cannot be obtained on a screen we call it as virtual image. And the same thing happens with the plane mirror. As there is present no screen, so the image that will get formed will be virtual. It will be virtual. Image formed is virtual. Okay. Shivansi, read out second point.
The image formed by a plane mirror is behind the mirror.
It is always behind the mirror. Whenever you see yourself in the mirror, you see someone being behind the mirror or standing just what? Near to you, adjacent to you. We see someone standing near behind the mirror. If we will see someone standing Definitely what? Get shocked? Yes or no? Okay. So here the image that is formed, if we are standing in front of the mirror, that means at the plane 1, then we will see our image being formed at plane 2. Yes or no? Okay. So the image always forms behind the mirror. Okay. Now, third point. I'll stand up. Read out third point. The image formed.
The image formed in a clear mirror is the same distance behind the mirror as the object is in front of it.
Okay, so sit down. The image formed behind the mirror is at the same distance of the object standing in front of the mirror. Okay, if we are 20 cm away from the mirror, then the image that forms behind the mirror will also be at 20 cm from the mirror. Okay, now if I will ask you that I am standing at 35 cm distance from the mirror, then my image will be at what distance away from me? 35 plus 35, that is 70 centimeter away. Okay, this type of numerical could come in your examination. Okay, now the third point is over, no? Third point is over.
Yes.
Distance between the object from the mirror is equals to the image distance from the mirror. Okay. Now, fourth point. Fourth point is
The image formed in a plane mirror is of the same size as the object.
okay. Whatever the size of the object is, the image that you will see inside that mirror, that size will also be same. Okay. If I am 5 feet tall, then inside that mirror also my image will also be 5 feet tall. It won't be 7 or it won't be lesser than that. Okay. It could be more or it has to be the same. It has to be same. Okay. That's what our fourth point is. That means same size. Okay. Same size of the object and the image. Okay. Same size of the object and the image. Now, the last point is, not the last point, is the fifth point. No? Fifth point is stand.
The image formed by a plane mirror is erect.
Yes. Erect means what? Sit down. Erect means what?
Straight.
Straight. Okay. If I am standing in front of the mirror in this way, then inside that mirror also I will see my foot at the floor and my head just above it. Okay. It won't be like me standing like this and my image will form like this. Okay. If it seems to be this, then we will term it as inverted. But here we have called it as erect. Erect means straight. Erect means straight. Okay. Now the last point is, that's what our fifth point is. Erect image. Okay. Now the last one is laterally inverted. Okay. The image is laterally inverted. Now what is the meaning of laterally inverted image? Laterally inverted means if whenever we stand in front of the mirror, if you are raising your right hand, then at the other side you will see that image raising its left hand. Okay, now we will do a mirror reflection of it. Come here. Come here. You come here. Stand here to the center. Face each other. Now you are the object, she is the image. Okay, and there is present a mirror in between you. Whatever you do the action, she will do what? Laterally inverted action of that. Okay, you are the object and she is the image. Okay. Whatever you want to do, you may do. Okay. So here, if he is raising his right hand, then here we will see her raising her left hand. Okay. Do something with your leg also. Okay. Come here. Now, do something with your leg. If he is what?
Giving his left leg.
Then she will be
Raising the right leg.
okay. That's what lateral inversion is. Okay, get back to your seats. That's all for our what? Today's class. Okay, so we will continue this in our next class. And do remember to mention and write down all the notes. Okay, and do revise it. Thank you.
Thank you.